Numbers, maps, data, simulations. It's all part of the latest effort in the United States to fight climate change. The White House launched a new website this week to better organize information on the climate. It's partnering with companies like Google and Microsoft to produce interactive features. The Obama administration has made climate change a bigger focus in recent years. And that push to tackle climate change comes the same week that we're learning of a potential impact on the global food supply. The study, led by the University of Leeds, shows that a global temperature rise of just 2 degrees Celsius would hurt crops in both temperate and tropical regions. That means more of Europe and the United States could be impacted than thought. The study finds crop yields, that is the amount of the crop that can actually be harvested, will begin to significantly decline in less than 20 years. We'll talk to the lead researcher of this study in just a moment. But first, we want to meet some of the people who will be impacted by this on a very direct level. Farmers. CCTV's Ginger Vaughn reports from the U.S. state of Texas.
They holler about this global warming. I don't know where global warming is. Some years it'll be colder, some years it'll be hotter. And back as a little kid, my dad and grandpa and I in the business together, I guess I didn't pay as much attention to the weather as what we pay now.
Despite better forecasting, Mike Atkinson, who runs this 26-hectare farm in Spring, Texas, says this business is not for the meek. One must deal with shifting weather patterns. It's either too hot or too cold, too little rain, with few days of perfect growing weather.
I've been raised on a vegetable farm all my life since 1953, and I'm almost 61, so I've seen it all. This time of the year, you know, cooler, if it stays 55 to 85 or 90, that's good growing conditions. When it gets above 90, everything starts going the other way. The nighttime temperatures gets above 75, nothing's going to grow.
But that happens here.
But that happens here. That happens here. That's why some things we have a hard time growing in the summertime.
Farmers say growing fruits and vegetables has always been hard work, involving long days in the field and unpredictable weather. But this year they say unusual cold spells have been especially rough on production. Climate change expert Dr. Bruce McCarl from Texas A&M University says a few degrees Fahrenheit in temperature can make a huge difference in food production yields.
If you have lower crop yields in some areas, that means, for example, in the Amarillo area, you'd have lower amounts of production, you'd have lower revenues being earned by farmers in that region, less feed available for the livestock industry. You'd probably end up having some reduction in regional income and some migration of the livestock herds.
McCarl says temperature won't change much in any one year, but gradually farmers may need to adjust harvesting times, crop mix, and whether or not they switch to livestock. Farmer Atkinson says he's already taking matters into his own hands by using seeds that are more resistant to disease and insects in varying conditions, as well as stepping up irrigation methods.
We're probably one of the few farmers that really don't worry too much about drought. You know, we have enough wells and stuff that we irrigate everything we can.
And while Mother Nature can be a fickle force, he says, you must carry on.
Probably the worst growing winter we've had in a long time. But, you know, you just got to take the good with the bad in this business. If you let it get to you, you let the weather get to you, you're done.
Ginger Vaughn, CCTV, Houston.